Tell us a little bit about how you got into brewing.
Actually, when I was a kid, I homebrewed for quite a while, and just for fun. Wasn't because I was an alcoholic at that point, and so just homebrewed and made lots of interesting beers. And when I was an adult, I would go down to the U.S. occasionally, and lots of the beers down in Washington State even were way more interesting than what we could buy up here. They were more like my home brew. So based on that, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make beers like my home brew that I can sell all over in Vancouver and try and move the beer industry along with me, because the beers were pretty pedestrian at that time. There were some very middle of the road beers. And so I started out with a really rich alt beer, and eventually superseded it with IPA, a really nice IPA, and a really heavy stout, which was quite different than the stouts that you could get here at the time. So no, because of that, I guess that was 15 years ago, and I've got quite a good following locally, and lots of people have heard of the beer and enjoy it. But it's never really wanted to grow it big either, mind you. I've always wanted to keep it small. I like making the beer. Deliver it myself. Talk to the owners of the restaurants or or parties or whatever.
That's great. So how many places do Kerry Storm now?
There's about 35 restaurants, bars, that sort of thing.
That's great. Any place on commercial?
Oh yeah, Commercial Drive has Café du Soleil has the IPA and stout on, and Fets and Wazubi have the Scottish ale.
You were saying that you were doing it a little bit to change the local beer scenery, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you think you've done that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, look around now, and there's lots of people are making really good beers, like the IPAs. The brew pubs in particular have really ran with it, and they're making lots of really good beers.
Why did you choose this area to set up shop?
I was living in the area, and I thought it was really cool. And this is an industrial zoned area as well, so you can put some sort of industrial products here sort of fit, or projects, whatever.
Sure. Some of the types of beer that you have, give us an idea of some of your favorites.
Oh, a few years ago I was reading about medicinal beers. I have a degree in botany, so I wanted to do some interesting medicinal products, and I made an echinacea stout, which was quite good. And it was good because you'd feel a cold coming on, so you'd have a few pints, and then what do you know, you're on a bender, but you wake up in the morning with no hangover and no cold or anything.
Really?
I'm sure it worked well. It's all it's like prove it. Bill C51, right?
Is that still available?
Yeah, I occasionally make a keg of that. Also, I did a sex tonic beer and some other woman's trouble beer or whatever. But it's fun to make stuff like that.
That's very cool. Very cool. And so, what's the best part of your job?
Well, either taste testing or the social aspects that go along with owning a brewery. Either one of those things. So, going and dropping off kegs of beer at parties and chatting up with people and stuff like that, I like.
That's great.
But I like tasting new beers and stuff too, as well as my own. Mm-hmm. And, got a good palate for stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you find there is a bit of a danger of consuming too much?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know. Before, I barely drank when I first started this thing. Now it's like, yeah, maybe alcoholism is a possibility.
So what do you think sets you apart from your competitors, would you say?
I'm basically a creator and artist of the beers. A lot of my competitors, they sort of design the beers, and then they've grown too big for the owner to actually be the person that's involved in the actual brewing. So it's quite a bit different. I've always treated the brewery as my personal art project more than really serious business.
Mm-hmm. It must be a pretty full-time business. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you get days off?
Occasionally, yes. I haven't for a while, but I have a competent employee. So it's good. I'm going to be able to take off.
That's great. That's great. So anything coming up? Any specials for any of the holidays or anything?
Not sure. I'm pretty sure there's a cask festival in Victoria that I'm going to be bringing along some sort of maybe one of the medicinal beers or something like that, just a cask. And I think there's a winter cask festival at Dick's sometime in December, I think.
Cool. Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're quite welcome.